Friday, May 3rd. Oi. 9:30 in the evening. Even though I was sitting down to do this, maybe about 9 o'clock, you can see. Of course, I don't have the curtains open. 'Tis very dark. Because it's 9:30 p.m. Oh my. Oh my. I ate and crashed out. Ugh. And then I woke up because I was in the middle of trying to fill out some paperwork for the city to make sure that I don't get fucked on my taxes next year. But yeah, I was going cross-eyed enough as it was, and then I passed out because I woke up and the paperwork was still, or PDF file, the PITF file was still open on my screen, and it's like, so I took a moment to, since I could actually focus on it instead of dozing off in the middle of it. And it's like, I'm still not totally sure, so I sent a message back. I think I need to worry about additional withholding. I think that's what I need to, the part that I need to fill out. Shit, and make sure that, I, don't get fucked next year. And I think I've done the math, at least for state taxes, because I ended up owing the state like $375. I think it's only like an additional, well, that's assuming that I got paid every other week of the year, which I did not, because I didn't get started until, like 2 or 3 months into it. But, it's only like, because every other week, if you get paid every other week, it's like 26 weeks or whatever, so 26 paychecks technically. I only know that because the paperwork told me. I didn't figure this out on my own. I'm not a math genius at all. But so I divided the 375 by 26, and it was only like $15. So I can just have like an additional withholding of, of course I was going to go a little over that anyway, and just say like 25 or something. Maybe I won't owe the state $375 next year, which would be pleasant. So I think that's what I need to concern myself with. I feel like my regular job, of course this has been like 17 years ago, they just asked like what percentage of my paycheck I wanted taken out. And I was just kind of like, I think they gave like a suggested amount or whatever, and then they're like, would you like to give any additional or whatever. I feel like it was much simpler than, of course this paperwork, it's like, for federal, says something about if you're working 2 jobs at a time or something. I don't know. Like, what is, I don't understand what one job has to do with the other. Like, I still want the right amount of taxes taken out. So it's like, you have a conversation, you work for the state, for instance. And they're like, how much taxes would you like taken out? And just say 5%, 10%, whatever, just to make sure it's covered or whatever. And then it's like, okay, thank you, have a good day. And then it's like, you go to work for Chipotle or whatever, and they're like, how much taxes would you like to have taken out? And you're like, 5%, 10%, whatever, And they're like, okay, thank you, have a good day. And then you go work for the best little whorehouse in Texas, and they're like, how much taxes would you like taken out? None, because I don't think that sort of work has W-2s to fill out, but you get my point. There should be a conversation with each separate job. And it's like, just take out this percentage, and they're like, okay, thank you, have a good day. And then at the end of the year, hopefully you took out the right percentage from each job without like this additional paperwork for no reason. But I guess it is the government. So like pomp and circumstance and ridiculousness is not just for Rob Deerdeck. It's for fucking government and yeah. I don't know. I don't understand. So hopefully, I messaged the HR lady back, and I was like, "Is the additional withholding what I need to concern myself with here mostly?" And of course, it's 9:30 at night on Friday. She's not going to get this till Monday, so I can just put the paperwork away, whoosh, not worry about it, and enjoy the weekend. As much of it that I am awake for, of course. I haven't heard from Mom, so I don't know if she's planning on coming down this weekend or not, but I kind of figure maybe not, because next weekend is Mother's Day, so I assume she'll be, coming down, maybe spending the weekend for Mother's Day weekend. I don't know. It has not really been discussed, so it's whatever. But, so, yes, speaking of second job, second work, I also didn't die today again, which was nice. The one guy suggested he had all the mowers pulled out. He was mowing somewhere, one of the parks, and he suggested, and he came in with fucking Casey's. There's 3 little pulled pork sliders. So guess what I had to DoorDash today? Because they sound really good, and they were really good. And then I bought myself some snacks and stuff for the weekend. So, in case Mom wasn't here, then I had snacks for the weekend, which I've already eaten like half of, probably. I don't know. But, which was weird, because I ordered, they had an option on DoorDash to get, like, a 2.5 ounce bag of their chips. Or you could get like a 6 ounce, what I assume was a bag, or whatever. And they sent 2 of these, which is 2 of the 2.5 ounce bags, as you see. So I don't know if they just didn't have the big bags in stock. So they sent 2 of the small bags. I opened it up and I was confused. I was like, did I accidentally order 2 of these? And I was like, no, because that's the 2.5 bag. So, I mean, I guess I still got my 6 ounces. Now I can only get 6 inches, you know what I mean? Bam! But, like, so that was a little, but the pulled pork sliders were very good. So, thanks for unknowingly suggesting them to me, Charles. But he suggested cleaning off the mower, so that's what I did. And he's like, kind of spot mow around here or whatever, around the park, around the shop. So I tried that hill again, and because I was telling him that, I tried to do it, and I slid all the way down, and he was like, yeah, he's like, that hill is, only going up, like, only go up that hill, whatever, because I feel like even when like I said, when it's dry, I slide down the fucking thing, especially now with mud and rain and wet grass and yada yada yada. So I tried that, and I got up it once, but the only problem is there's still the top of the hill, so I was like trying to go around, and it's like I was still kind of sliding a little bit at the top, so I'm like, okay, maybe I shouldn't do this one. Maybe it's just not the week for this one. So I kind of went around. Well, I was taking water up to the guy who was working on the pickleball court today so he could mix his concrete or whatever. And then I killed a mower. Apparently it blew a fuse. Because it's like, it was running. I got it running twice. Because I pulled it over. After I washed it off, I pulled it over to fill it up with gas. Because that was the one that I was going to try to use to mow. But that was the one that Chris Deal ended up coming down. And he was having me take water up to the guy for the pickleball court. So I started it up, got it over to the gas thingy, It didn't really need gas, but I was going to go ahead and fill it up anyway. Why not, while I'm at it? And then I got it from the gas thingy up the hill to the pickleball court, and I turned it off in case, you know, because I didn't want to be making a bunch of noise while we were trying to have a conversation, whatever. Because Chris was like, oh, I'll introduce you to the guy. But it's the same guy that's been there like twice. I don't know if he remembers me or whatever, but probably because I have the iconic Cookie Monster hat, obviously. It's memorable. You know, but of course it's just right over here. Oh, Minxie's laying down with her pipe, but I can wear it for the rest of the video because 'tis memorable. This is my Cookie Monster hat right here. All the bitches. All the bitches. All the single bitches. All the single bitches. Oh. Yeah. And a box to the left. I think about it. But yes, this is my iconic Cookie Monster hat. And I hadn't even got to the question. Why am I talking so fucking much today? Anyway, I just realized that I'm making this video to answer a question. It's like, Jesus. But as I was taking, you know, when I shut the mower off, I went to start it again, and it did not start. So, I was like, I just started this thing twice. It did a weird thing when I turned the key. It was like it almost like over accelerated or something, and I had to turn the key back to get it to like, because it was like, and then I turned it back, and it was like, okay, it's running normal. So then one of the guys came over and looked at it, and he thought maybe it blew a fuse, so he replaced the fuse, and it worked. So, but anyway, I kind of forgot there's this other little patch of grass to the side of what I guess called the ABC building. They were having some big to-doings up there yesterday and today, because there were cars parked all along the, you know, the little road in front of the park. But they had all dispersed, so I was like, well, since they aren't having a meeting up there or whatever it is they're doing, I guess I can attempt to mow this little patch of grass, because it's a tiny little patch of grass. It's not even at as much of an incline as the one by the shop is, so I thought, oh, I'll be fine. And I'll try to go up it like Charles suggested with the other one, and maybe it'll be okay. It was not okay. It's so not okay. It was so not okay. Because I tried going up, and then it's like, I just kind of, the mower turned, and then I just slowly like slid down it sideways, and eventually got somewhere to where I guess the back, something got traction, and I was able to like kind of like stop before I ended up in the, of course, you know, I mean, people still drive down that road anyway. But yeah, before I ended up in the street, I was still in the patch of grass when I ended, but there was this nice little swath of like, I forgot to take a picture of it, because I was just so happy I survived. Like this mud, like, you know, like, what do they call it when you shit your pants? Skid mark, there it is. Power of the Cookie Monster hat. Okay. Makes the brain work, apparently. Yeah, there's this nice little, like, skid mark. I was like, okay, I'm not mowing this either, I guess. Rhett saw that one, because he just happened to be coming back from lunch at that time. So, because he ended up going to lunch late. But, anyway, so I survived. You know, good for me. And now, after a 3-hour dissertation on paperwork and work in general, let's answer a fucking question. I started making this before midnight, so it still counts as today. I don't know if I'll get it uploaded by today, but the 3rd, right? May 3rd, yes. Titicaca. Oh, I gotta turn the page. I didn't do that yesterday. Usually I prepare, but I'm not prepared. How are you spiritual? Oh, Lord. I mean, this is a question that could, take another 3-hour dissertation, I guess. My basic answer is I don't have any of the answers, and I'm not going to walk around on this planet acting like I do. Like, everyone has the opportunity to be wrong, and this is such a serious discussion to be wearing a fucking Cookie Monster hat. The ridiculous of my life. Okay. Like, everybody has the opportunity to be wrong. And they need to admit that to themselves and not fucking be a dick to other people, which, once again, like, that's kind of the general rule. Don't be a dick to other people in general. Like, I don't have the answers. You don't have the answers. You think you do. You have faith. You have thoughts. You have, what you feel to be true. Well, there's a lot of people that have read the book a completely different way. You know what I mean? Like, and that's all just assuming it's not complete bullshit in the first fucking place. You know what I mean? Like, it could all be complete fucking bullshit, and you're being a dick to people for no fucking reason. How about you just stop? Like, you could be right, possibly. There's a lot of different viewpoints on what is right. And, like, some people are like, you have to read the Bible a lot, and you have to, or the Quran, or I guess whatever book it is that, you follow. I don't think the Buddhists have a book. They're just kind of like, yeah, man. Yeah, like, I don't know. That might be more the rock thing. I don't know. But a lot of people have read your exact book in, like, different ways, many different interpretations. Some people even add on, like, an additional book of Mormon, like, but that's not, heaven forbid. God, he was like, oh, here's some shit I forgot. You know what I mean? I mean, I've never read either one of them. Basically, I only know most of what I know about Book of Mormon comes from South Park. I've not done no research whatsoever into any of that stuff. But it's like, I remember a friend talking, years ago about, because, I mean, they can be a dick to their own people, don't get me wrong. How he started dating a girl who believed in the Book of Mormon, but he didn't. So his beliefs didn't change whatsoever. But he was talking about losing part of his church family because he just started dating a girl that believed differently than he did. And I'm like, you're not selling the church very well right now. Like, you're just, like, so many people, I don't know if they realize how much of a dick they make God sound like. I just don't think they know. Do you not care? Because it's God, and it's okay if he's a dick. It's okay if it's like, like an abusive relationship. Like, it's just okay because he's God, Like, listen to me, do what I say, or I'm sending you to hell, Like, that's kind of like... that's kind of one. I feel, once again, I feel like I've said this already this year, answering a different question, but, that's what I'm talking about. Anyone has the opportunity to be wrong, but anyone has the opportunity to be right. So, the Westboro Baptist Church might be the ones who are right. They might have it spot on. That's exactly how spirituality works. That's exactly how the whole, thing works. That's how the whole system works. The Westboro Baptist Church has just as much chance of being right as everyone else, as all these other options. But I follow that up by saying, if God's that much of a dick, I don't want to hang out with a guy for eternity anyway. No one should. You know what I mean? Like, just, what? Like, I don't know. Like, if those are his people, if those are his, like, if that's God's real, like, you know, bros, he can have them. And they can have him. Like, that's fine. That's fine. I'm gonna be hanging out in hell with the rest of the cool people. You know, like, I don't know. Like, they say history is written by the winners. So what does that make the Bible? If it's, like, a real, not just some, like, delusional, like, schizophrenic, like, or, you know, ordered by the king. Hey, like, I want to control people. How do you control people? You know, we've got, like, these multiple gods, but we got to do something about it. Let's make one God. And, you know, if you don't listen to him, you're going to hell. And then everybody's like, oh my God. Literally. Like, we're bored with the whole, like, God of love and God of thunder and all this shit. You know, like, let's just have one. Why not? We're worth it. I don't know. So, like, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, no one knows how it works. Like, be honest with yourself. No one knows how it works. We have a book of rules, I guess, which doesn't it contradict itself anyway in certain points or whatever? Or, I don't know. Like, it may all be bullshit. You might be wrong about this. Like, as much faith as you have, you could be wrong, and you could be being a dick to people for no fucking reason. Just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. And maybe stop being a dick to people for no fucking reason. Like, if you want to impress a god that much that wants you to be a dick to people, or, like, I don't know. There are some loving people there, and, you know, like, even my friend Robert, in his pushiest of moments, like, he's doing it out of love. He's doing it out of concern. He's doing it because he wants to save me. Like, I mean, he even, you know, laid this out because, you know, he's not like this anymore. He's, you know, hopefully I was a teaching moment for him because he upset me so much. He's like, it upsets me to know that if I go to hell and you don't, or if I die tonight, I would go to heaven, but if you die tonight, you wouldn't. And as fucked up as that might be, you know, he did it out of concern because, you know, he cares about me. He's a friend, and he wants to spend eternity with me. Like, that just sounds so fucking cool. I mean, it does, you know, hanging out with your friends for eternity, your friends and your family and your loved ones. I mean, like, he wants me to be a part of that. And in kind of a fucked up sort of way, it's coming from a place of love, you know, which is weird, odd. like he wants to spend eternity with me, you know, and go cruising down the strip to some Soap and some Jennifer Lopez. That's what there used to be specific songs we'd have that we'd listen to as we cruised what tiny little strip there was in our, you know, in our small Midwestern towns, you know. But Soap S.O.A.P. The only song you might know from them is This Is How We Party. And it's blinking at me because I'm out of battery now because I've talked for so long. But anyway, but yeah, there was multiple songs on there that we used to jam out to as we were cruising back and forth. The same fucking strip over and over and over again. Like I said, what little strip there was to cruise, but you know, like, he wants to spend eternity with me doing cool things, and if it's you know, a possibility, whatever. But they don't speak as it's a possibility. They speak it as it's a truth. You don't know that. You don't know if it's the truth. That's what I said to my friend Robert. There's a lot of truths out there. How do you know yours is the right one? Like, you don't. Nobody does. Nobody does. So, just, I don't know. It's just, you can't control it. It's just as much of a fucking Super Bowl as the goddamn Super Bowl. Like, like, religion and football are like two of the biggest fucking things in the world, in people's lives. You're not going to change either one of them. You know, you can't. And it's like, I mean, I guess football doesn't really necessarily need to be changed, I suppose. It's pretty straightforward, but like, religion just has so much more. Like, go live your godly life, and the way you feel you need to live to get in the good graces of whatever dictual lord, like, you want to be a part of for eternity, and just leave the rest of us alone. Like, why are we voting on things like gay marriage? Like, it's not your life. Fuck off. Just seriously, just fuck off. Like, oh, I don't like it, so you can't have it either. Just fuck off. Like, isn't there supposed to be, like, understanding, or, like, I don't know. Like, some of the Christians are the most, like, judgmental people. Like, my sister stopped going to a church, when she was younger. This was one of my first introductions into the world of, churchly life, whatever. And it's like, well, I mean, it wasn't one of my first ones, but when I was old enough to kind of think about it a little bit more critically myself, and it's like, as long as she went to their church, they were fine, But when she stopped going to their church, that's when it was like she was an outcast. Like, if they saw her at Walmart, they just, turn heel and run the other way, basically. Like, they wanted nothing to do with her after she left their church, Of course, I guess if you look at it from their perspective, maybe they thought they did something wrong, or they were embarrassed, or, like, maybe they thought she was upset with them, and it's like, well, I'm not gonna bother her today, so I'll just let her live her life, I mean, I guess if you want to look at it from, maybe a different perspective, maybe they were ashamed, embarrassed, like, we're not good enough for her, we don't know why, so, let's just not even bother her. So, I mean, I guess there's different ways, to look at it. I kind of feel like, it's, there again, I guess I don't know either. I don't know the truth, the supposed truth, so shouldn't speak on it, I suppose. But, like, I don't know. They just seem to be some of the most judgmental people. But there are people in that, like, if you need someone, like, if you need someone to care about you, like, I mean, there's people in that building that will definitely care about you and take care of you, and, like, I have a friend, I mean, more of an acquaintance that I've added on Facebook, that, they were an addict or whatever, and they were an addict, and they went to this program, they went to a rehab program that was, very religious based, and they came out, I mean, they came out addicted to Jesus, but, I mean, that's what they needed to turn their life around, and they are now, a more stable part of their children's lives, and, they've been holding down a job, and they've been, like, I mean, hopefully nothing ever happens to, I mean, they do have their bad days, they do have their days where they struggle, whatever, blah, 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 but it doesn't defeat them anymore, you know what I mean? So, I mean, it can be a good motivator, I guess, if that's what people need to, live a better life, whatever. So, I mean, I guess there are benefits to it, but it's like, if you want to live your life that way, live your life that way. Like, and maybe, I mean, if you have an opportunity to, like, be like, hey, but it's just, I don't know, just, like, keep your nose out of everybody's, like, that's just the general rule, no matter what you believe, or, like, keep your nose out of other people's business. Like, nobody wants it there anyway, and they're not going to appreciate it, and whatever, and it's like, I don't know, things like gay marriage and abortion, and, all this other, like, just, it's not your life, like, stay out of it. Of course, I mean, I guess it kind of is your life, because it is, where your tax dollars are going, but, so, maybe I should repeal on that, whatever, but it's like, I don't know, just, like, I guess my spirituality, maybe it's more Buddhist, because it's like, just don't be a dick to people, like, believe what you want to believe, and that's fine, like, go do whatever you feel you need to do to make it through this life and get the golden ring at the end, whatever, okay, Sonic, you know? But, like, just don't, like, fuck with everybody else, you know? Just don't fuck it up for everybody else. Like, if we're going to hell, we're going to hell. I mean, might be okay anyway, you know? I like to throw it out, what if God's the real devil? You know? Like, he's, oh, you didn't listen to me, so I'm gonna kick you out of the kingdom. My battery died. The Lord had had enough. Now I gotta edit this. Now I gotta put this through Corel. Am I gonna make it by midnight? I don't know. I don't know how much of that last conversation got on before it went, change your battery, you son of a bitch. You know, like, but it's like, I like to throw it out, like, what if God's the real devil? Like, maybe it was the devil. The devil's like, don't speak my name. I mean, there are odd instances in life that it's kind of like it makes you, you know, think of higher powers and that kind of thing. Like, just odd, like, Final Destination. Like, the person was either, you know, in the wrong place at the wrong time, or sometimes the right place at the right time, and, like, ends up, you know, saving somebody's life. I mean, this doesn't always have to be negative. You know, it doesn't always have to be like, oh, you know, you were behind that log truck and it, like, the logs came out. Like, like, that's the only thing. Final Destination has become iconic, even if it's not for, like, the original movie. It's the sequel. Everybody knows the log truck scene. But, you know, so, I mean, it doesn't always have to be, like, there was, I remember a story, and of course at the time, I was very anti-religious, and, there was a story of a girl that, she just happened to be, like, in the right place at the right time, and, like, saved somebody's life. You know, she pulled him out of ice or something. I remember back in the day, or whatever. So, I mean, you know, she was like, oh, you know, God gave me the strength, or whatever, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, well, is that what they would have said if you drowned? Because if you drowned, they would have been like, oh, God works in mysterious ways, or, you know, we can't know God's plan, or whatever. It's like, God's plan was for somebody, like, some, you know, little girl to die? Like, I don't know. Oh, it's to teach us a lesson. Like, okay, like, weird lesson, I guess. I don't know. Is it a lesson we want to learn? I don't know. Like, I don't know. I was thinking there was another thing I was going to say. Oh, you know, and it's like, once again, we go back to no one has the answers. Like, I hate a devout atheist just as much as I hate a devout Christian. Like, you don't have the answers. There might be a God. He might be a dick. You might not like that God, but that doesn't mean that he isn't maybe not possibly there. You know, so it's just kind of like, atheists think they have the answer just as much as Christians do, and it's like, you don't. You do not. You don't. None of us do. You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of, I guess it's just kind of one of those things, like, in life, it's like, I mean, I believe in, like, the paranormal, the supernatural, like ghosts and shit. I don't know about, like, Bigfoot and Loch Ness Monster and all that sort of, you know, cryptids. I remember when Marilee first introduced me to that word, I'm like, you're making that up. But she's not. Cryptids is a thing. Like, the black-eyed children, if they're real, goddamn, they're fucking terrifying. But it's like, I guess I look at, you know, like, I don't know, I'm a skeptical believer when it comes to, you know, paranormal. It's like, well, maybe this has a logical explanation, whatever, blah, 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 blah. I kind of forgot what my point was, where I was going with this. But it's like, I don't know, I mean, spirituality is like, or, you know, God and all this, it's like, I guess it's an option, it's a possibility, It's in the realm of all things possible. It is a possible possibility. It is. I don't know. It just seems like fall in line, and you'll get the reward at the end. And I mean, it sounds like maybe there actually is a reward at the end, possibly. But it's like, I mean, we might go in the dirt, and that might be the end of us. But there again, going back to the supernatural and ghosts, and it's like, what are ghosts? I guess they're like leftover energy, of a life. But it's like, what if they're a soul, and there really is something to the whole, religion thing? Like, there's a lot of, it's just overarching, like, there's just so many, like, who knows and possibilities, and they're all possible possibilities. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like at the end of the day, I'm just gonna be a good person while I'm on this planet, and like, be good to people, because I mean, being an adult, being in the world sucks enough as it is, without being a dick to people just because I read a book or whatever. Like, I don't know, like, I don't know. And, like, hopefully, I guess, at the end, if there's some kind of reward for it all, by being a good person, hopefully, I would receive that reward. And if I don't, the system's rigged, it's fucked up, and I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, because in the end, I'll still know that I treated people decent while I was here. So, I'll know that I was a good person, while I was here. Or the best person I could be, I guess, Some people might disagree, I guess, I don't know. You'd be hard-pressed to find them, I feel like, Like, I mean, I don't... tooting my own horn, but... like... I mean, I know who I am and what I at least try to do. Try to be good to people, like... be decent to people, be nice to people. I have a lot of people that like me, so, I mean, I guess I'm doing an okay job at it. Like, I don't know. So, yeah, God might be real. He might be a dick. And if he's a dick, I don't want to hang out with a guy for eternity anyway. Like I said, at the end of the day, if I was, I guess if I left the world a better place while I was here, or made it a better place, made people smile, made people laugh, I feel like I did a pretty decent job doing the whole life thing. So there you go. I mean, I'll still be proud of what I left behind, I suppose. So, and so far I am, for the most part. I mean, we've talked about, my friend, that I didn't know how to handle the situation, so I handled it badly, and, that's on me. But, for the most part, I feel like I've been, decent to people. So, I don't know. I guess I figure, I mean, in the end, it just doesn't really... I mean, I guess it does matter if there's actually something after this life. I could just be a ghost and, like, fuck with people, just hang around and just be like, hey. But, I mean, I guess, spending eternity with my loved ones sounds neat, I suppose, just get to eternal rest and, never have to work again and just, like, enjoy life. But then it's kind of, what was the oh, I think that was The Good Place, where they were like, like they were going on for eternity, and I mean, I guess this is spoilers if you've never watched The Good Place, the sitcom, because they were like, they kind of created this system where it was like, because they ran into some characters that had lived for so long they were just bored. They had, like, nothing left to do, and then it's like they kind of created this system where I think basically, like, maybe you were, or you could be reincarnated, you know, and just started all over again or whatever. Or when you were done, and you just kind of, you know, disappeared from the universe or whatever, you know. I don't know. I'm still having a good time, I guess. And if the soaps and Drag Race go on forever, like, I could just haunt somebody's house. It's like haunt two different houses, and it's like, okay, here's this week, you know, keeping up with the General Hospital, keeping up with the Drag Race, you know, like, I'd be good. I could go on forever, you know. But just haunt a movie theater and go see, like, Avengers 26 in, like, 800 years or whatever it is. I don't know. So, but anyway, this was an extremely long video. Thank you if you stuck through all of it, including the technical difficulties. But yes, I don't know. I don't have all the answers, and I'm not going to walk around acting like I do. You know, like, there are many possibilities, many fringes, you know. Who knows? And that answer is none of us. None of us know. Stop being a dick to people. Oh my god. But anyway, my hands still smell like pulled pork. And I love it. I guess that's heaven for me, is, you know, you can eat pulled pork all day without any, without any, you know, without it being unhealthy, you know. But we shall see. We shall see. But anyway, I'm going to process this through Corel and hopefully get it uploaded by, because it's 10:15 now. Have I talked for almost an hour? Oh my Jesus. I think it wasn't like 9:30 when I started? Maybe? I don't know. But anyway, that was a heavy question, so I guess it required a longer video after all the work talk. Sorry. But anyway, like I said, I like to keep it conversational, you know, to begin with, and then get in, you know, but most questions are like, what did you eat today? And it's like, most of them don't require such in-depth conversation. But anyway, that's that. I have a Cookie Monster hat. Mickey Rantle is up to bat. That's not Mickey Mantle? Vicky Vale. Vicky Vale is up to bat. Joker fell in a vat of acid. Parentheses. Wiki. I'm just being a wordstress. It's falling apart, much like that delicious pulled pork that I had earlier. But anyway, I'm gonna put this in, mix it up, and I'll see what I see. I have to edit this together anyway, and I realized I should have